with, I'm going to show you 4 different centers we can do for the sunflower. That's the first thing we're going to go over. Last year I did post a tutorial on how to make different flower centers, and I will repost that again, so I have to go and search for it and I'll repost it. I think I did 4 or 5, and then I'm going to show you another 4 tonight. So that is like 8 different centers you can use. Now the sunflower per se is very versatile. So this flower that we're doing tonight, you can do in any color you want, okay? People relate to it when we do the yellow and the brown center, of course, as a sunflower. Now, when you go on to YouTube or Etsy or whatever, and you see some of these beautiful sunflowers, you can see people layer different colors. You can use different materials. Tonight, we are going to be using poly burlap, my nemesis. I don't like poly burlap, but I do like it just for the sunflower. So it's kind of like the 21-inch for the rose. This is I like for the sunflower. So I haven't used poly burlap yet on any of my lives, so I'm trying to do different materials on every live. And I'm going to show you different centers on how you make different centers. 2 of the centers that we're going to do tonight are made right on the board, so you don't even need styrofoam. And 2 of the centers, one is I'm making one, and the other one is a pre-bought one. So we'll get into that a little bit. I'm just going to let some more people pop on. I know Patsy. I just seen her St. Patrick's Day wreath with the pot of gold. That is fabulous. I literally just seen it like 3 minutes ago. Hi from Ottawa, Canada. I love my Canadian peeps. Hi Susan, Christina. You're using poly jute. It will work fine. You can use for the sunflower or this flower. Okay, I'm gonna call it, I guess I'll call it the sunflower. You will see a lot of different tutorials. If you go on YouTube and you YouTube sunflower petal, you will come up, you'll get pulled up a few different petals, okay? You can use any of those petals on our board. Much easier than you'll watch the tutorial with, okay? Tonight's sunflower, I'm going to do the most basic petal, because this flower, if you want to teach workshops, but you want to teach workshops inexpensively, this is the flower to start with, because it's very easy and it's not very much material. For the actual construction of the sunflower, we're using 32 pieces. Now I did cut my mesh for this one 10 by 10. Because it's only 32 pieces, you still only use 1 roll of mesh, okay? Which is amazing. And the poly burlap really gives good coverage. So you'll probably, I got addicted to poly burlap just for the sunflower. Like that's what I'm saying. So one center that we are going to make, I'm going to make out of Ollie Fun. Now you can make this center the same way with felt. You can make it the same way with burlap. You can make it the same way with deco mesh. Okay, so a brown deco mesh or whatever color center you want. It doesn't always have to be brown. But I have this huge bolt of brown poly burlap, brown Ollie Fun. Now Ollie Fun, I've touched a little bit on it. I can't remember even which, we're on day 5. I can't remember which one I did it with. But Ollie Fun you can buy on Amazon. You can buy Hobby Lobby. You can buy at Joann's Fabric. It is a really versatile material. It is water resistant. So even though it feels like it's a fabric, it almost feels like that landscaping fabric that you use, you know, to prevent weeds and stuff. I'm pretty sure that's the landscaping fabric is Ollie Fun as well. But it says it doesn't fade in the sun, which is amazing. It's water resistant, and it makes a beautiful center. You guys watch and see. So what I did is I cut, I cut 8 pieces of this olifant, 6 inches high by 12 inches long. You can cut it 6 by 24 inches as well. I'm going to do 2 pieces and stack it on top of each other for each of the center 5s. Sorry guys, I literally just got home not too long ago and I'm like a little flushed here, but we're all ready to go. So I'm going to do olifant for a center. I'm also going to use some deco tubing for a center. So I'm going to show you guys how to make a really cool center using deco tubing. Now this deco tubing I have here, it's actually a poly jute deco tubing. Here it is, faux jute deco tubing. Now I'm not sure if it's water resistant or anything. I assume it would be. I got this, a big huge bag of it, which will make probably about 5 or 6 centers. I got it at Craft Outlet, and it comes in a big long bag. So it makes a really cool center. But you don't have to use brown again. Like I said, you can use any color mesh. You can use any color poly burlap. You can use olifant to make the petals like I'm going to show you tonight. You can use, I wouldn't recommend burlap for the actual petals, only because burlap will flop over. I did make a burlap sunflower last year because I did find some 10-inch burlap. It was sold on a roll. I can't remember what it was called. But anyways, I tried the sunflower, and the first day it was beautiful. It looked so nice. The second day it started looking wilty, so the petals started kind of flopping. And by like the third day, all the petals, like the top petals, were flopped down. So if you're going to try and do burlap, you're going to have to stiffen it with some kind of fabric stiffener first. So if you do a fabric stiffener, it probably will work just fine. But the poly burlap, fabric mesh, you can use fabric mesh for your petals. That will work really well too. And again, fabric mesh is outdoor as well.
How many feet are in the package? There's no feet in there, is there?
It is 30 yards. Are we talking about the deco tubing?
I guess she just asked how many feet are in the package.
Okay.
There's no feet in the package.
No, there's no hands either, right?
Right.
Dave said there's no feet in the package, but he's being silly. You know what he means. This is faux jute tubing. It's 8 millimeters by 30 yards. And the item number is RE366531. And that is Craft Outlet. And I think it's Craft Outlet, or did I get it from Trendy Tree? Oh geez, I can't remember. I had 2 orders come in at the same time, my Craft Outlet and Trendy Tree, and I just kind of threw everything in the car, and now I can't remember. Either or place sells it. And they sell all kinds of colors. I bought the yellow of the faux jute tubing too. I like the dull, like you can get the sparkly stuff too, but I kind of like the dullness of this. It kind of matches the poly burlap as well really nicely because there's no glitter or sparkle or metallic in the poly burlap. So like I said, for the petals, you can use pretty much anything you can think of. Okay, just be careful if you're using burlap because it will flop over. So fabric stiffener. But you also want to use a really good quality mesh if you're going to use a deco mesh. If you have really thin deco mesh, you're going to have to double the pieces again. So try and get some good stuff. I know it's hard when you buy it online and stuff. I have the same problem, but okay. So I guess tonight I'm going to show you guys all the centers, and maybe I'll do a poll to see what actual center I'm going to use on my for tonight's sunflower. So if you're making your sunflower with me tonight, while I'm, that sucked. I cut the bag open wrong. If you're making your sunflower with me tonight, while I'm gabbing here, talking about centers, you can listen and preload your board already, okay? So we are going to preload, I've already done mine. You're going to preload circumference 2, 3, and 4, okay? 5 we're not going to preload because I'm not sure what center we're going to be using. So I'm going to do a center on each separate board, and then we'll start with the sunflower thing, and then we'll decide at the end which center I should use for the finished product.
Robin wants to know if she can make this on the small flower board.
Oh yeah, oh for sure. It just makes a smaller sunflower, but yes, of course. You'll use, so I left my outside 8, so circumference 1. I left that, I'm going to put my green leaves there. So if you're using the small board, you're going to use a shared hole if you want to add some green leaves. I like the green leaves on the sunflower. It really frames it nicely. And I have green poly burlap. So this is the petal we're going to be using. So while I'm chit-chatting, you guys can preload. You probably already know what kind of center you're going to be making, obviously, if you're doing it with me. But I just wanted to have some fun because this is like my favorite flower and show you guys some neat centers. Oh, and I'm using yellow zip ties only because I have them. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to use them. But you most definitely can use clear. You won't see the zip ties anyways. I just happen to have yellow and I thought, you know what, I'm going to use them. Anyways, okay, so the first one I think we're going to do, I'll give you show you. Let me move this all out of the way here.
For why?
What?
Somebody asked me to zoom out, I don't know why.
Okay, well, we're going to go down to the board. So you're gonna see what I'm gonna do in 2 seconds. I know you guys don't want to see my ugly mug. Okay, honey, zoom down. Bye, guys. I'll see you at the end. All right, I'm just waiting for the thing to go down. We got that delay. Hi, Margaret. Yes, I have a zip tie gun. You can use a zip tie gun. I just found it to be a pain in the butt, so I use my needle nose pliers to pull the zip ties. But yes, you can use a gun. Okay, so the first center I think I'm going to show you guys is this Ollie Fun center that I'm going to do.
Jan loves your ugly mug.
Thanks, Jan. Like I said, you can use Ollie Fun, you can use burlap to do this method, you can use felt, pretty much anything. Now, if you want to put it for outdoors, I highly recommend using Deco Mesh or the Ollie Fun because it is an outdoor material. Felt is not outdoor, and if it gets wet too many times, it may get moldy. So just saying, if you got any kind of weather that's going to hit your wreath, I would highly recommend not using the felt. Even though it does look really nice, you may want to use something more of an outdoor. Before I get started, even though it's flower day 5, and I'm just showing you guys this now because I remembered. This is what I spray my wreaths with. Let me see if you guys can see that. This one is a Rust-Oleum. Now they do have Krylon, but this particular one I have is made by Rust-Oleum. It's a satin, so you want a satin or a gloss, okay? If you get matte or a flat clear coat, it will dull your mesh, okay? So it'll leave like a kind of funny film on it. So I usually use satin or gloss. It does say you can use it on wood, metal, plastic, and more, so it won't eat your deco mesh or anything. The main thing you want to look at is it's fast drying, yellowing, and the main one is UV resistant. Okay, so this is what we want, because we don't want our flowers fading in the sun. So give your wreath a good spray. Make sure you do this outside. This is stinky as anything. So make sure you spray in a nice, well-ventilated area, and definitely look for the UV resistant. Okay, you will see cans like this, and it looks similar, and it doesn't have UV resistant. So you want to really make sure that you read the can. Okay, and again, satin or gloss. Don't get matte or flat. It will dull your mesh. Okay, that's it for that. And I have the mountains. The mountains are blue. It's Friday night. We're drinking now, Darlene.
Not the Ollie fun.
Ollie fun. No, we're not drinking the Ollie fun. I can't do that again. Once a year is good for that. We'll keep that for New Year's Eve. Okay, so you're going to want to have a couple clothespins handy. And like I said, I cut this Ollie fun. I have a big bolt of it. So I just unrolled some of it, and I cut it 6 inches high and 12 inches long. And I'm going to double 2 on top of each other. If you want, you can cut yours at 6 inches high and 24 inches long. So that's totally up to you. I kind of like the look of the layered when we get started. So I've already done one.
Sorry, Judy just said, and that's a good point, always spray outside to save your lungs.
Oh, I said that, yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, always spray in a well-ventilated area. Yeah, because and it stinks. Like, it stinks really bad. Kind of like the plastic mesh. Now, I did cut my poly burlap. I posted a picture, but I did cut it with my bag sealer. So my ends will probably not fray. If you're going to use poly burlap as well, be very careful when cutting it. So if you're using a rotary cutter, make sure you try and cut up down the center of one of I'm having a brain fart today speaking. Make sure you cut down the center of one of the rows here. You can use a heat or a wood burner to cut your poly burlap. This stuff does fray like crazy, and that's why I really, at the beginning, I really hated poly burlap because it does fray like nobody's business. Using the bag sealer, I have to say, it really works really well. So, but you want to make sure you have your personal protection equipment on, please. The respirator, the goggles you don't really need. The plastic in the air or whatever it was really burning my eyes, and that's why I wear the goggles. So, sorry, Mitchell's home. Okay, so we're gonna start on this center. Now I do the centers for the sunflowers at the very end, but because we're gonna start with centers, I'm gonna use a different board without anything on it, just so you guys can see exactly how I'm doing it, okay?
Show a deco mesh center.
A deco mesh? No, it's actually exactly the same as I'm doing right now, except with deco mesh. Now, if you have 6-inch deco mesh, that's perfect because it makes a perfect size. Now, if you're going to use 10-inch, I'll show you with this, okay? If you want to use 10-inch for your center of plain deco mesh, you're going to cut your piece. Now you can cut it, this is 10 by 10. You could probably, I guess it depends how thick or good quality, what quality mesh it is. My God, I cannot talk tonight. So when you're making this, you're going to fold it. No, how am I doing this? Yeah. So if you're doing deco mesh, you're going to cut it however long. And you're going to scrunch it through the middle, up. What, honey? And you can put your mesh in, and I'm going to show you with the olifun. But you're just going to scrunch it. Look what I did. Look at how much it frays already. You're just going to scrunch it up the middle. And you're going to zip tie it onto your board just like that. So you may want to use 2 pieces like I'm going to do with the olifant. With the mesh, you do it exactly how I'm going to do the olifant. I apologize. I don't know. I think I'm just really, really tired and I'm having problems thinking today. Okay. So I got my olifant. So it's, like I said, 6 inches by 12. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have my clothespin handy. I am going to go right up the center. Okay, just like that. It looks like a bow tie. And I'm going to clip this one. Now, let me put this aside. First thing we're going to do is you're going to want to preload your zip tie onto your board. Not close it, but just put your zip tie in like that so it's ready to go. So you're not fumbling around while you have your olifant in your hand or your felt or whatever. And that's the beauty of this board, is you can make your center right on the board. So you don't even have to use any kind of foam or anything like that if you choose not to. So that's why it's great for teaching or having workshops, because you just give your students 8 pieces of felt or olifant or whatever, and they can just zip tie it right on the board. So you're not fooling around with hot glue, and you're not fooling around with foam and stuff like that. Okay? Okay, so we got 1, and I'm going to put 2. We're going to put 2 pieces in each of these 4 sets of holes, like I've already done the 1. So we're going to do the second one. We're going to do exactly like we did the first one. You're just going to go between your thumb and your Peter pointer, right up the center, and I'll put another clothespin on. Okay. Okay, Linda. Olifant is a material that is water resistant and fade resistant. You can buy olifant on Amazon. You can buy it at Hobby Lobby, Joann's, probably Michael's. I'm not sure about Michael's. It's pretty versatile and sold everywhere, pretty much. So I bought mine. I bought a big, huge bolt of this brown, and I bought it at on Amazon. And I only bought the bolt because I'm going to be using the brown for a workshop I'm going to be having in the summer. So I grabbed a big bolt of it, and I'm just going to cut it for everybody. It's just cheaper that way. All right, here we go. So we got our zip tie preloaded. What you're going to do is you're going to take 1 of your ruffles that you just made, and you're going to put the middle of it where we had the clothespin. You're going to put it right down in the center of the zip tie. Okay? Then you're going to take your second one, and this is why the clothespins are handy, and you're going to put it right on top. Now you can put both of them together and scrunch them up. I like them having them separately because it gives it more ruffles when the center is finished, and you'll see what I mean in a second. So you're going to take your zip ties and do it up. Okay, don't do it really tight until you know that you pretty much are right in the center. So fold it up, and if you need to pull some out. So we want both sides pretty much even. All right, we're good. And pull it tight. Okay, and we're going to cut this off.
Is the bag sealer you used on your favorite thing?
Yes, the bag sealer, I did buy it on Amazon, and the one I bought is actually on my favorite tools. So if you click on that link, it's not expensive either, and I'm quite pleased with the results. The only thing is, again, burning plastic is really stinky, so please, 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 if you are going to burn it, please use either use a respirator or do it outside. When you live in Canada, you really don't have a choice to go outside in the middle of winter because it's freezing. So I opted for the respirator. Okay, so we're going to do this again, scrunching up the middle. Put my clothespin, where'd it go? Oh, I have them all. Okay, so I'm going to put, again, like I did, you're going to put this one, and then take this one and put that one on top. And I just kind of kitty corner it so it's not really layered on, like, it won't look like one uniform piece, because I want to make sure that you can see both ruffles. My gosh, my brain is not working these days. I think I haven't been sleeping well. I've been having a lot of back pain this week, and I think the non-sleeping is catching up with me. Okay, pull it tight and snip off your tail. Oh, I forgot to grab a container again. All right, we have one more. And when I let this puppy go, it's going to be nice and big. Now, the nice thing about this, when it does open, we are going to be putting petals in these holes. But when this lets go, it will cover, you can see it's starting to cut, it will cover the zip ties. Okay, one more left. So there's one. Oh, that's great, Jane. We have over 60 tutorials on our YouTube channel for the boards, and they're categorized into character frame, tree frame, flower frame. So you just, and then they're also on our Facebook page. So once you get your frames, you just have to decide what you want to make first. All right, one. Ah! Exactly what I didn't want to happen.
Sorry, I know you said this already. How long do you cut? It takes about 5-10 minutes.
What?
She says, how long do you cut?
These ones I've cut 6 inches by 12, and I've cut 8 pieces.
Nobody's liking my sense of humor tonight.
I'm too tired to think of your sense of humor. It causes me. Look, I can't even talk. I can't even form a sentence tonight.
My prayer for an answer.
What is?
You can't talk.
I know. That's not very nice. All right, look at this center. So I'm going to probably pull some. Barbara got it. Did you see the picture of her steak she had tonight? Good Lord. All right, so I can probably scrunch this up, and I can see any pieces that are a little bit too long. I may not have got perfectly in the middle. So I'll just trim those. And look at that center. Isn't that beautiful? And easy peasy. Now you can add, if you want it even fuller, you can add 3 pieces per zip tie. But you can pretty much see that it really isn't necessary. Okay? What, hon?
What are you making?
I'm making a sunflower. Okay, so this is one center you can do. All right? So you can use, again, burlap, felt, olifun, whatever your heart desires. Sorry, just see some of the long pieces. Okay, so there's one. All right, the second one I'm going to go over is the deco tubing one. And this one's a really fun one as well. So what you pretty much do is wrap the deco tubing, and I'm doing this 6 inches. You wrap the deco tubing around the board, and then you put it, the center of your deco tubing, right into your zip tie, and you pull it tight. Okay, and then you get all these bunch of little loops, and once you get all the a whole bunch of the loops in, they all go over top of each other. And I think I did 15. So you're going to take your deco tubing. Now this board I cut is 6 inches long. So I'm going to go the length of the 6 inches. You're going to take the end of your deco tubing, and I'm going to go around this board 15 times. Okay. Oh, that would work perfectly, Rose. That would look really pretty with the beads on the edge.
With last year, you're doing a different center, aren't you?
For what?
Are you showing a different center?
Yes, I'm doing a different center right now.
Because Ruth says I've lost you, so she probably doesn't realize you're jumping to a different center.
Oh. Okay, so that's the first center. And now this second center is the deco tubing. I am using the jute deco tubing. You can use the metallic deco tubing, whatever you like. You're going to take your end and place it on the board, and we are going to go around the board 15 times, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now make sure it doesn't kink sometimes when you're twisting it. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Actually, I'm going to go around 16. Actually, I might have skipped one. I missed one. But anyways. Okay, and then you're going to cut it off. Now, I just put a clothespin on here to make sure. Yeah, I went around one too many times. No biggie. So you're going to take this off your board and find the middle. So just bring it up so you can find where the middle is. And you're going to put the middle of your deco tubing, you're going to put it right on the board. So the middle of that clump is in your zip tie. And you can zip it up. Now, I'm not going to zip it up completely tight because I'm going to do a double check on if I'm in the center. Alrighty, that looks good. Now, I don't like these little end things, the single piece, so I kind of cut it down. Alright, and now you're going to pull it tight. And snip this off. Okay. Now we're going to make a big cluster of it again here.
What size was that measuring board for the flex tubing?
6 inches. I just made a 6-inch board, so you can just use a cardboard or whatever you have handy, as long as it's 6 inches long. Alright, we're going to do that again. Now you can go, if you want a really full center with deco tubing, you can go around like 20 times. Maybe I'll try that. Let's see how full it gets. Not 20 times, 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh yeah, it is 20. 11. It kind of kinks there. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 17, 18, 19, 20. I like to end with one of the edges at the end up one way and the other one the other way. All right, we're going to slip it off the board. And don't let go, so you'll lose everything. All right, we're going to kind of find the center. Okay, and stick it the middle of your clump there, or your cluster, right on the board. Do your zip tie up. Not too tight, because you want to make sure that you have it centered. That looks good. And then pull tight. And cut your tail off. Okay, we got one more. Oh, I'm gonna have to get another piece. Hold up. This one's not gonna be long enough, I don't think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, no, it's not long enough. Grab another piece. Hold on. So when you do get the bag of this tubing, there is, I believe, three separate pieces. And of course I get it all knotted, and I'm just a hot mess today. I hope to get some sleep tonight. 4, yes. We're going to do 4 clumps of this tubing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, The struggle is real, my friends.
What struggle?
The struggle with the deco tubing. Okay, let's slip that off. Be gone with yourself.
Okay, talk to the tubing.
Talking to the tubing. All right, so we got one more left here. We're going to put this cluster right in the center of it. Make sure it's halved. All right. So I think I would suggest, like what I was doing for the second part of this, doing it 20 times around. Yeah, it'll give it a little bit more fullness. So don't, when you're doing the deco tubing, it does have some elasticity in it, so it stretches. Try to use the same tents going around. Try not to pull it. I think with some of them I was pulling it so they're a little shorter. So just try to lightly go around and don't pull. I think I did that with a couple of them. So the first batch looks a little bit shorter. So I may unsnip these out and redo them. So rewrap them. But I won't, you guys got the gist.
Why use pliers to not pull the zip ties?
Pardon?
Somebody asked why you use the pliers to pull the zip ties.
Because my hands, I don't have really good strength in my hands. I have these little tiny cuts all in my hands from eczema. So I use the needle nose pliers. Just helps. Anyways, so there's one center. Mine doesn't look the greatest because I'm going to have to redo it. I think I pulled it too tight. So if I do, like, look at this one. So you'll have to play around, but I definitely, if I do this center for tonight, I'm gonna have to redo it. But you guys got the gist. That's how it's done on here. And like I said, use the same, don't pull on it, because then it goes too skinny. And go around about 20 times to give you the coverage. So I'll have to redo that one, but that's how that's done with the tubing. All right, so the next one I'm going to show you, I already I started it already. And this is a styrofoam half ball, which a lot of people use for the sunflower centers. Now you can cover your half ball with anything you want. People use Lomi pins. So Lomi pins are those little gem-like things that you can see on the centers. They're called Lomi, L-O-M-E-Y. And they sell a lot of Lomi pins, all different colors, on Amazon. So if you paint your center, you can put the Lomi pins in, and I don't even think you have to glue them, because they have, like, they're an actual pin, like a corsage pin, and you just push them into and make like a design or a pattern right on your foam. You can also use rope. What is that thick rope called, honey?
Thick rope.
Thick rope. You know, that stuff.
Thick rope.
Yeah, you can use that and wrap it around, and you can get really, really creative and have fun with the centers. I'm using pom-poms. So I painted my half styrofoam brown, okay, just because you'll be able to see, you know, if I left it white, you'd be able to see the white coming through the pom-pom. No, like the...
I'm reading answers.
Oh, you know that big, thick stuff?
Thistle rope.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Monkey makes centers with the rope and everything.
What size is the half ball, please?
This half ball is 5.5 inches in diameter. And I bought it at Hobby Lobby. And it was already like pre-cut in a half. So what I did is I started on the bottom. I put some glue, a bead of hot glue along the bottom, and I just started putting pom-poms on them. And I love the center. It really, when you put it on the sunflower, this is probably the center I will use tonight, because wait till you see when it's done. It really does look like a sunflower center when it's done. And these pom-poms I got at Hobby Lobby, and they are 1 inch pom-poms. And there is 80 pieces in them. I believe this one is going to take me about, I used a half a bag to start it, so it's going to take me about 1.5 bags to cover this big half ball. So they, again, are 1 inch. They're $1.99, but you know Hobby Lobby, everything goes on sale every other week. So I only paid $1 a bag. So that, you can't beat that. And you can do any color with the pom-poms. The only thing is, again, if you're going to be putting it right out into some weather, it's pom-poms, so they may get wet and start getting moldy or whatever. Yeah, you can use the glass beads. The only thing with glass beads or the glass things, they're heavy, okay? So you got to keep that in mind when you're making a center of, you know, is it going to stay on the flower? Because it's heavy. So if you were doing glass beads, you can use this, or you can also, you know, paint this and put some glass beads on this, so you can have a flat center. The 4 or 5 centers I made last year that there's a tutorial for, I used mostly with this styrofoam from the Dollar Tree. Okay, these are a little bit more fancy. I did buy these. I haven't used them yet. Imitation pearls. They had all different colors. I got purple, red, yellow. They're from Hobby Lobby as well. and they were I know I didn't pay full price. They're $5.99 for this whole bag. But if you wanted to make something fancy again, you could, it will take you a while, but you could put, you know, paint your styrofoam ball the same color and make a pearl center, putting the pearls on just like the pom-pom. Or you can also do it on your flat styrofoam as well. So these are fun because you could even use different colors. So you can, if you wanted, you could do a design on there and glue your pearls into the design. So you could do like a star in the center and go along the star. So draw a star with pencil on your thing, glue this color. So if you want a blue star, do a blue star, and then once that's dry, then you can go around with, say, red around that star and make a like a actual fun center. So there's all kinds, like the sunflower is just so versatile. You can just have so much fun with it. So for my like I said, I just glued and went around and literally quickly stuck the pom-poms on with the hot glue. Again, I'm using, actually this is a Surebonder glue stick. It's really, really long. So all I did was, I'm going to finish this off here. Just put some hot glue on the ball.
That thing looks like if you touch it, everything's going to take off, like little spiders or something.
What, this?
The center.
The center? And just stick your pom-poms on. There we go. Voila, done. I love this center. I'll probably use it tonight. It'll look so cool. But anyways, it does look like a real sunflower center when we put it on. All right. So that's another one that you can have fun with. Lots of stuff. Lots of different stuff. So again, actually probably 1 1/4 bag. So if you got 3 bags, you could probably do 2 centers with the half ball. All right. And then the last one I wanted to show you guys is actually you don't even have to make it. I don't know where it went. Right here. Last year, Trendy Tree and Wreath Shop and Craft Outlet and all them came out with these pre-made centers. They're really cool. They're just styrofoam. I think it's $3 for this or 2 something. I know I bought a whole bunch of these already to pre-make sunflower kits. So I think I told you guys last night I was going to do sunflower kits. So I'm going to be doing those when I get back from my trip. Now this is like a wood chip, I think. I think there's wood chips or something on it. Anyways, it's just styrofoam. And when you're finished your sunflower, and it's really cool, you just glue it right on to the front of your sunflower. And it does look like a real sunflower center. Okay, so it's already pre-made, like I said, and it comes in yellow. Yeah, they do sell out very quickly, Nancy, you're right. I believe Trendy Tree just got theirs put on. I bought a whole bunch of these centers before Christmas, so I always think ahead, right? So I bought like 60 of them before Christmas. So, but all the places are starting to get them in stock. So I believe like I said, Trendy Tree just got their stock in. Craft Outlet, I believe, has some. This particular one is 7 inches. Did it say on the package? Because you can get them in different sizes, and it doesn't even say on the package. You can get them in different sizes. This is the smallest one. So you want to get the smallest one with the Unique in the Creek frame. And they're, I believe I paid $2.98. They're a little bit messy, but they're really cool. Especially if you don't feel like, you know, making a center or whatever. They didn't have these. They were just coming out with them in the summer last year, so. I believe this is 7.5 inches, though, if I'm not mistaken. But you would just glue on the back and then just set it right on top of the petals. So it would cover your zip ties here. Perfect. You could also use something like this. I got this at Dollar Tree, and it's just a styrofoam like donut type thing. It's like 4 in a pack, and I like to use these sometimes to actually make a lift on the back of the foam, so it lifts it kind of right off.
What is the name of the centers, or does you have a SKU now?
No, there is a SKU, but if you just type in flower center in like Trendy Tree or Craft Outlet or whatever, they will pop up. There is yellow, brown, pink, green, and orange, I believe. Anyways, back to the lift. This way, because when you do your sunflower, if you're going to use this, you're going to glue your center right onto the zip ties. So you put glue on each zip tie when you're done your sunflower and put this on top, and it would just sit on the zip ties. You could also take this and make it like a lift. So you would glue this to the back of your center and then put glue along the donut part, and you can see you would glue this right to the center, and then this would just sit right on top. So it would almost make it like a 3D effect. And I'll show you guys when we do get the sunflower finished, the different centers on them. More than likely I'll probably use this one. We'll see. Okay, so that is it for the centers right now. So we got 2 centers that you can make right on the board, one center that you can pre-make and attach afterwards, and then 1 center that you can actually buy if you're can't be bothered making one. And then, like I said, I have a few more that I did on tutorials last year that I will dig up and repost again. So the centers are fun because after you make a few of the sunflowers, they get kind of boring. You know, you can play around with colors and layer. You know, each section can be a different color, and you can play around with colors and everything. But you can really have fun with the center, because the center is pretty much what the customer's eye is going to see first. So if you have a really flashy center or a really cool center, it'll catch their eye and you can make that sale. There we go. Okay, so this is my preloaded frame. We are going to start from the outside and work our way in, because we are layering on top of each other. Now, the petal for this, like I said at the beginning, you can use all kinds of different kinds of petals. There is so many out there. There's ones that you can pay for a tutorial. You can watch some on YouTube. I like to watch Dean Michael Design on YouTube. She does a really nice petal. Who else? Cat's Creations. Is it Cat's Creations? Oh, I can't remember now. Anyways, there's a couple really good petals and tutorials out there that you can use. So if you can make it on the wire frame, it will definitely work on our frame. For tonight, I am just going to show you the easiest, most basic sunflower petal that you can do. Nothing came up. Honey, check out Trendy Tree. What is wrong? What is wrong with me tonight? There is like something majorly wrong with me tonight. I really need just to sleep for 2 days straight. So go to Trendy Tree and just type in flower centers. Okay, so I pre-cut my poly burlap 10 by 10. The only reason I did 10 by 10 because I only need 32 pieces of this. So I know on one roll I will get 32 pieces of 10 by 10. Okay, if you're doing 40 pieces, so if you were going to still do, because you can make your sunflower really big by putting yellow petals on the outside circumference one, and it will make a really big sunflower. Now, another thing too is you can keep in mind that these flowers can be used outdoors. This is all plastic. So this is all, especially if I use like the olive fund in the center, the whole thing is going to be weather resistant. So you can put these big ginormous flowers on, a garden gate or your fence for in your backyard. You can put it like on a wall outside your house. Like you can pretty much put it anywhere you want. Because it is, like I said, all plastic. All of this is made out of polypropylene plastic. So that's a really, really great thing about the frames as well. This is going to be the back. So this is going to be, our back is going to be nice and neat. I did post the 2.5-inch stickers. Affordable wreaths and signs are Chris. She is a graphic designer and her company is a print shop. So I approached Chris a few weeks back and asked her if people sent their logo and say their Etsy store or whatever else they wanted, would she make stickers so that people can put them on the back of their wreaths? And she agreed. And I used to do this all the time. So if you see that, when you go on the Facebook page, you'll see a sticker that says Simply Elegant. That was my company before, when I was doing workshops and stuff like that. So that Simply Elegant sticker I put on the back of every wreath. Every wreath I sold. So if anybody was, really liked my wreath, or they, bought it at a craft show, like if their friend came over and said, "Oh, where did you get that wreath?" The customer just has to flip the frame or flip the wreath back, and all the information of my website and everything was right on the back of the frame. So I really, really highly recommend the stickers. It's good advertising, and especially if you're at craft shows, okay? So if it interests you, you just need to send her your logo. So you would message, I think, affordablewreaths.com. Chris put it on she made like a printout thing. So I did post it on the Facebook page. So just message her and you can send her the JPEG for the image and stuff, and she can create something up. There is a design fee, but once you pay the design fee once, you don't have to pay it again. So when you run out of stickers, you just message her and say, "Hey Chris, I need more," and she'll send them out to you. So the beginning one, there is a design fee because she's got to put the logo in and round it and all that stuff. But it's really, really good practice for you guys to do that. And it's way cheaper than, well, it's, I don't know, there's really nothing to compare it to, but, you could put a business card too. It's a little harder for them to pick off the sticker, and they probably won't if you put a sticker on it. A business card, they may just rip it off the back. So the sticker, if you make it more difficult for them to take it off, then it's pretty much advertising for you and helps get you more sales. Okay.
You're making a sunflower.
I'm making a sunflower. Oh, okay. Thanks, Barbara. Oh, it's $2.97. That's right. I knew I didn't pay very much for it, so I am very tired, Betty, and I'm having a really hard time concentrating because I am so tired.
I noticed Trendy Tree has the frames back in stock now too.
Oh, there you go. Trendy Tree has the frames back in stock, guys. So we shipped out. Amazon's going out in the morning, so they should be mid-week have stock. But that's great that Trendy Tree. So if you wanted to buy your mesh and your flower centers and everything, if they have flower centers on their website and you're interested in them, grab a few, okay? Because they do sell out very, very fast. And you want the smallest ones. I'm not sure if it's 5.5 inches or 7. I guess I can just, so let me, 5.5 inches. Or 6 inches. I think it's 6 inches. Sorry, guys. It's the smallest one they have. Works great with our frame, which is great because it's cheaper too. All right, let's get this going. First thing we're going to do, I'm going to start with a green. I know normally I don't start with the green, but tonight I'm going to with this one. Only because I know I've bag sealed it, so the edges are, you can see they're kind of, well, they're burnt. Not burnt. Melted. My gosh, I shouldn't be doing this live tonight. What, honey?
Just do.
it's not going to fray on me. So I'm not scared to do my green stuff first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a zip tie and I'm going to put green ones. I'm going to do them all the way around, I think. So you're going to take a zip tie and you're going to take and put it in behind and come through the zip tie. So your zip tie sits like an L shaped here. You're going to take your piece of mesh that's 10 by 10 or 9 by 10, depending how you cut it. Turn it into a diamond, okay? You're going to fold this corner, just fold it under. Fold it under like that. And then you're going to scrunch between your index. Now, like I said, there is many ways to make the sunflower. This is one of the easiest, so that's why I'm showing you guys this one. You're going to take the corner and just fold it under. All right, now you're going to flip it up, and you can see that the two are not even. So we're going to just shift the center of it to make sure that our leaves are going to be even. And I think we're good here. Yep. Take that center, you're going to plop it right on the frame, and then zip it up. My hands aren't working, my brain's not working. Alright. I'm going to snip the tail off. I'm going to do the next one again. So I'm doing all 8 all the way around. You don't have to. You don't have to do any green if you don't want. It is totally up to you. Like I said before, you can add your color that you're using of your flower. So I could add 8 more and make it a bigger sunflower. You could do a different color than green if you want. But I'm keeping it the standard, normal, easy sunflower. So I'm folding this little corner under. And why I fold it under, it just makes the pleats on the petal neater. And it doesn't turn the mesh up. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's why I do that. There is a reason. Always a method to my madness. Fold this under. Alright, and kind of make sure that we have some even leaves here. And we're just going to put this right here. My mom on?
Yeah, she was.
Oh, was she? I didn't see her pop on. Mom, you on? Greetings from South Texas. Dee, I'll probably do the sunflower kits. I'm going on vacation February 23rd. So when I come back, we're just going for, how many, 8 nights, hon?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I come back, so it'll be the first week of March. I'll start with the, I'll start making up the kits. Now I don't have a ton of them, so once they're gone, they're gone. We'll see, I think. I've been so busy, I don't even, I don't know. I just don't have time for anything. Just, oh, hi, Mom. I didn't see you at the beginning pop on. When you go to Trendy Tree, just go into the search bar and just type in, I think, flower centers. You have snow still, Monkey? What's that? Oh, I forgot to put zip tie in. I'm glad tonight's is sunflower. Did you guys see my daffodil? It did turn out really nice. I do want to fix the center, the orange. I think I'm going to redo it and just put all orange in. But it did turn out really good. So I am going to go down and donate. I have 3 of them now. Why did I miss? I even missed one. Like, what is wrong with me? So I'm going to donate one to the Canada Cancer Center, or the Canada Cancer Society, and then one to McMaster's Cancer Center, and then one to Juravinsky. So, for their cancer ward. Because, I don't know if you knew this, but in the cancer wards, you're not allowed to have real flowers. So, because there's germs in the soil and everything. So, when my best friend's mom was in the hospital, I made her a big, huge sunflower to hang on her wall because she couldn't have real flowers. So it just made her room so much brighter and give her something to look at. So these flower wreaths are perfect for, well, you know, retirement homes or hospitals or whatever, because they don't die and they're really pretty and they don't have bacteria in the soil. Oh, are they all, actually, Chantel, funny you say that. I think we're going to be doing Easter centerpiece kits. I got these, the cutest Easter, do we have one of the Easter egg trees up here, hun? That I bought for the centerpieces?
What?
You know the Easter burlap Easter egg trees I bought?
I don't know where they are offhand.
Anyways, I bought these Easter egg trees and they're in a burlap thing on the bottom. Really, really pretty. I bought like 50 of them. So I think I might do Easter centerpiece kits.
Is any up on YouTube yet, or is it just on
No,
our page?
I haven't had time to put it on yet,
Okay,
guys.
so it's on our page.
Yeah, you can find it on our page still. Under videos is all the tutorials still. I don't take them off. So you can put 8 green leaves, you can put 1 green leaf, you can put none and just do a different color around it, or continue on with your yellow. Now if you were going to continue on with your yellow and you cut your leaves or your petals 10 by 10, you will need more than one roll of the poly burlap. Just saying. Now if you cut it 9 by 10, you'll have enough to do 40 pieces, hopefully, if it's a true 10-yard roll. Which we caught the manufacturers, because normally when you're wreathing, you don't really, you know, if you're doing a poof method or whatever, you don't know that there's not 10 yards on there until you're actually cutting the mesh and you really do need the whole 10 yards. Then you find out, hey, they're ripping us off. But normally you wouldn't even know. Alrighty, green is done. Oh, we got a little bit of a fray here. Okay, so we're going to do the yellow now, exactly the same as we did the green. For the center of the character boards, people have Mod Podged gift bags on there. What else have they done? I gotta think about that one. What else has people done with the centers of the character boards? You can do napkins. You can Mod Podge napkins. You can Mod Podge the gift bags.
You can do just about anything.
Yeah, you can do about
glue things on there or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
You can paint on it. I have a couple, I've asked a couple people, Sonia from Junk Monkey Paint and Claire Nicole from Chalk Couture. So they are going to paint on the center of the board.
signs, yeah, you can put signs on
Signs, yeah. Okay, so I made the same petal. This time, instead of having the zip tie come through the petal, we're going to stick the rounded part just into the zip tie and zip it up. Now, like I said, there's different ways to do the sunflower petal. This is just one way, and it makes a really nice full sunflower. I forgot to put my hanging thing again. So there is 2 holes on the frame that are like divoted in or chamfered in. Those are our hanging holes. You can use string, cord, twine, whatever. I'm using a zip tie for a hanger. Just go up and then down through that hole, and you're going to zip it up, and you can cut off the edge. There you go. I've been using the zip ties because it is plastic, just to keep everything plastic. And another thing is, then because I'm always losing my string and everything, but I always have zip ties, so.
You're not the only one half asleep. Janet Penn. She's half asleep and zip tied our mesh to the back side of the board.
No, I'm not that tired. So again, I'm flipping the corner over, and see, it's still frayed, even though I burned it or melted it. Fabric mesh makes a really nice sunflower as well. So what you're going to do is just keep zip tying all these petals right onto the board. So you want to make sure they're nice and neat as you go around. And that's it for the sunflower. That's all we're doing. So as you can see, this is why I suggested, if you're going to be teaching for your first time, I've had a couple of messages today asking what the best flower is to start with when you're going to have a workshop, and this one's it. So like I said, you don't have to do it just in yellow. You could do it in any color you want. But of course, yellow, being the sunflower, is the most popular. So as you can see, this is why I said it's kind of boring. So you may want to play around with different centers to make it a little more fun looking. But the end result is stunning. Nice big sunflower.
Why do you pack the petals down instead of leaving them flat?
I don't know. Habit?
That was the question.
Oh, I have no idea.
So in other words, it's a personal preference.
Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of sticking up here, and
Okay. So let's just ask the
oh.
question.
Now we want to make sure that each petal is pretty much in their spot that it's supposed to be. And once we start putting, even though there's only 32 petals, it's going to look really, really full. So I know I've made lots of sunflowers before the boards on the wire frame, and you definitely use a lot more mesh and a lot more time. Why is this one not going right? All right. Now, I've seen some gorgeous sunflowers out there. Like I say all the time, I'm not the greatest wreath maker. I have good ideas. To execute them, I'm not the greatest. But I'll give you guys the tools to do your own thing with it and make some beautiful stuff. Some of this is not laying right. That's probably why I'm patting it. So you can, if you've done a couple of these, you could probably whip through and make like a sunflower really quick, probably about a half an hour if you have your stuff all cut. So you would, if you're doing it on the small board, you would do it the same as I'm doing here. But you would use, the small board has the 16 holes around first, It doesn't have the 8 holes that we used for the green. So if you wanted to add green, you would just use a shared hole, I call it. So it'll already have a zip tie in it.
Yeah, I forgot about that one with the character board. Who was it that put the mirror in the middle?
Oh yeah, the mirror. That was a cool idea. That was, oh geez. Who was that? Was it Margaret?
If you're on here, let us know.
Huh?
So if you're on here, let us know.
Oh, who did the mirror? It was the mirror with tulips.
Yeah.
I think it was Margaret. She's on here. Margaret, was it you?
Yep, I was Margaret.
Okay. So I know another way to do the sunflower petal, which is really pretty, and it's another one of my favorite, and it was Dean Michael design that I seen it on YouTube. What she does is she takes a 10 by 10 square, she puts the 2 corners together and flattens it out just like so, and then she scrunches along the bottom where you folded just like this, and you fold these corners under, and you put, that's the petal, so it looks like one big petal, and you just put it in the zip tie like that. Now I think Michelle from Monkey's Creation, she made one not too long ago with this method. So that is a really pretty method as well, if you wanted to try that way. Like I said, I'm doing the basic, easy. I like the Dean Michael thing. It doesn't work the great. I found it works really well with the poly burlap, and she uses a lot of the poly burlap. It doesn't work the greatest with just normal deco mesh. I think because the poly burlap is so thick. Oh yes, carpet tape to hold the mirror in place. That was so clever. But a lot of people, because that's the nicest gift bag, especially at Dollar Tree. And I actually did, at Christmas, I did a Mod Podge truck, and I drilled holes in the board where the headlights were on the truck, and I put 2 lights, so it looked like the headlights had, well, it was like the headlights had lights, so, does that make sense? I need to shut up. I just don't make sense at all tonight. And I need to get some sleep. They had tulips at Dollar Tree? Were they tulips or crocuses? Yeah, the tulip wreath can get really expensive. If you have to use like, well, with our board, it's you know, you only have to use 8 bunches of tulips, but I've seen some where they've used up to 18 bunches of tulips on a little 14-inch styrofoam frame. It's pretty, but that's a little pricey, I think. But to each his own. Oh, I don't know, Margaret. I can't remember. She asked what size drill bit I used for the headlights. The smallest one that the little light bulb would fit in.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. So I don't think I could use this poly burlap if I didn't burn the edges, because it frays even with the edges melted. I remember I did a sunflower, the only other time I've done one with, and I didn't melt the thing. Oh my gosh. By the time it was done, there was strings everywhere. When I went to Dollar Tree, I didn't see any tulips. I seen crocuses, but I didn't see any tulips. However, when I looked on dollartree.com, they sold tulips, and you can buy them by the case. The only thing is you have to get all the colors that they have in the case. But if you buy 2 cases, you can mix and match them, and there you go. You don't have to run around from Dollar Tree to Dollar Tree. They actually had some nice florals at Dollar Tree. I have a bunny butt that I bought from Derica's Designs, and I'm going to use the flower board, and I'm going to use some tulips and everything. It's going to be I have the vision in my head. Now you don't have to use yellow zip ties. If you're just joining us or whatever, I just happen to have yellow, so I figured out I might as well use them. Yeah, I bought my tulips at Michael's too. They were buy one, get one free when I did it. This is biggest sunflower. Well, you seen how big the daffodil was. It still fit on the door. It did fit between the 2 doors, except when I closed the door, the orange felt part did hit the glass. So that would be easy to fix. You just don't put the center part as long as I did, and it won't hit it. But it did fit between the doors. It was iffy, but it did. Now there is a couple tutorials out there that are paid tutorials. They will work on our board very nicely, but with a paid tutorial, you want to have common courtesy and not share the paid tutorials. Now, if you figure it out yourself, there's nothing, nothing anybody can do. But if you bought the tutorial, you want to be respectful and not share how you made the petal and everything. I'm just saying. But I'm not sure if you need to actually pay for a tutorial, because there's just so many out there. And you guys are smart enough, you could probably look at a petal and figure it out. But if not, they're out there and available for you.
Alright, the Grandma's room is done in pink and black zebra print. What kind of flower can I make her that will look good?
It's what? Pink and black zebra print?
Pink and black.
This piece is just...
Pink and black. Zebra print.
I'm not sure.
Are they yours, the tutorial?
The what?
This is, are they yours, the tutorial?
No, my tutorials are free, but there is I don't have any paid tutorials. There is paid tutorials out there that are not mine. So that's what I'm saying. Just have, if you do buy a tutorial to make the, like a sunflower or whatever, you just have respect for the person that made the tutorial, and you don't share it and all that stuff, and share how you made the petal and stuff like that. And then saying that again, if you figure it out yourself, well, then really nothing anybody can do. This is a ginormous sunflower. All right, so we're now in the next section now. Sorry, I'm too tired to even think and talk. You could feel free to talk if you'd like, honey.
No.
You're too tired too, eh?
It's a tutorial.
What's that?
It's a tutorial and I'm not Any questions?
Yeah, is there any questions? If there's questions, just, oh, how many cuts of the yellow? I missed it earlier. We're making 32 pieces. Now, like saying that, I am using poly burlap, and it's quite thick and gives good coverage. If you're using deco mesh, you have to judge if your mesh is going to give you the coverage that you need for the board. So if it's thin, you may have to use 2 pieces.
What's the difference between good and bad mesh?
Well, you'll be able to tell. The bad mesh, well, not bad, but it's really thin. It frays a lot. Like I know Michael's, that's not the greatest mesh whatsoever. So I find a lot of the stuff from Taiwan is thin and will fray really easy. Now, if you want more fullness on your sunflower, you can add 2 petals per zip tie. Or if you want to add like a color, you could do, you know, 1 row of pink and the next row of purple, and then a row of pink and purple in 1 zip tie. So you can use your imagination. There's the peacock flowers. People put the peacock feathers in there and use different blues and greens and everything. Those are really cool. But what?
How many rolls of mesh?
1 roll of 10-inch. Now, like I said, I'm using poly burlap. It's thick. It's going to give me the coverage. If you're using a good quality metallic deco mesh, you still only need about 32 pieces of yellow. And I also used 8 pieces of green, so total used 40 pieces. You don't have to put the green on. You don't even have to put anything on the outside. You just make a smaller sunflower. Yeah, I cut mine 10 by 10, but you can cut them 9 by 10 if you're going to do 40 pieces.
How big are those pieces? How big are the ones you're making?
10 by 10.
10 by 10.
So they all layer. So when I put this petal in, it's going to cover this area. And so if you're using thin deco mesh, that's where your problem's going to lie. If you use thin deco mesh and you put it in here, it's not going to give you the coverage that you need. You may see through onto the board. So you have to make that judgment call yourself.
Hi, David.
Hi, Dave. This flower, oh yes, this the one I'm using right now, Barbara, I'm using 10 by 10 pieces. Because I only need 32 of them, so I knew if I did 10 by 10. And honestly, they do make a nicer petal because they're totally uniform. No, Christina, I've used Ollie Fun to make a sunflower. I actually used, it was like a burnt red or a brick red. There's a tutorial on it somewhere in the video section, and it worked out nicely. It didn't fall over. Burlap's really heavy, right? So if it doesn't have any structure, it's just going to go like limp. So you can use the burlap. You just have to use a fabric stiffener. Yay! I got some duck butts. I'm going to make a duck butt once I can get through this flower week. I also have to do a carrot. Oh, I have just so much I have to do still.
Somebody just said, why don't you do your heads on the bottom anymore? Evolution.
It's just, yeah. I saw Kathy from Kathy's Wreath Creations, and she did them like this, and I'm like, why didn't I think of that? Because you don't see the heads anymore, and then you don't have to worry about tucking them into the back of the or the holes, and it makes the back much more neater because there's nothing sharp on it whatsoever. So it's just preference. And it's clever. This thing is ginormous.
Barbara sold 5 wreaths this week, 3 final and 2 Valentine.
Wow. You guys wait till March. You can get your practice, like seriously get your practice on with these flower wreaths, because come March, people are just dying for, you know, the nice weather and for spring and summer to come, and by March they're buying up, especially the sunflowers. They buy up the sunflowers like 90, like, and sunflower and the roses. And the nice thing is that you can advertise them if you're using the weather resistant material. They can put them on a grave site. Oh, I'm on the next row. So I'm now on row 4 now. They can use them on a grave site or right on their fence, you know, surround their pool. Oh, that's the thing. I was going to show the pool today.
How much would you sell this one for? That's a question that comes up often.
Yeah, I get this all the time. I don't know. Monkey, what do you sell yours for?
Depends on where you are, right?
Yeah. I have a hard time with how much I would sell things for, because I really don't sell my wreaths. And we were talking about this last night. If you sell your wreaths, about selling them with those supplies. If you're a veteran wreather, at 3 times your supply cost. If you just want to get some sales under your belt, you would add up your supply costs and times it by 2.5. If you already got, you know, some sales under your belt, and you know you're a good wreather. Now everybody's a good wreather when they first start, but even when I look back on mine, it's like, ooh. So, and it depends on your area. It depends, you know, it just depends on a whole bunch of things.
Sells hers for 45.
Oh, there you go. But Barbara, where are you?
Jan wants to know supplies for tomorrow on Sunday.
Oh, I don't know yet. I have to rewatch the video for tomorrow's, because I haven't done one since the summer, and I haven't done one on the new board. So it may It'll definitely be less than it was on the old board. Guys, you're gonna have to forgive me because we have so much going on behind the scenes here at Unique in the Creek. Like Amazon sold out. We had 120 packs on Amazon, and then like 48 hours later we had 0. So we had to like really.
It's just been a busy week.
It's been a crazy, crazy busy week. My back, of course, is giving me a run for my money, so I'm having a really hard time doing things because my back is not cooperating and I'm not sleeping.
But we'll have fun again next week.
Yeah, so, but I do not disappoint. So I said I was doing flowers, I will do the flowers.
Maybe when we're on the shed, I can take a book and we'll do story time with Dave on the balcony of the shed.
Are you kidding?
I'm serious.
I know you are, but that's just weird.
What?
Story time with Dave.
Sure.
Come here, boys and girls. Come sit on Uncle Dave's lap.
This is wrong.
I know. Thanks, Jan. I knew you'd forgive me. But again, I didn't know when I was planning Flower Week that it would be busy like this. So I literally came home, cut my mesh, and had to jump on the live.
How many petals for a small leaf?
Well, it's the same because there's 16 outer petals. I don't know. I just can't think. There's 16 on the outside, so 32 still. Although you could probably skip, on the small board, you could probably skip every other hole on the outside if you want. You know what, guys? Honestly, I don't really use the small board. When I make a flower, I want to make a flower. Like, I like the big flowers. I like that, you know, when you drive by my house, you can actually see the wreath on my door. And I understand that people want the smaller boards because of, you know, where they live and everything. But because I can use the larger ones, I prefer using the larger ones.
Where do you advertise?
I don't. Oh, like for what, Sharon? Like for Unique in the Creek, or advertise for selling your wreaths?
Kathy, if you want them quick, get them from Amazon.
Yeah. Amazon is good to buy from because you get them quick. They're $45, but the shipping is free. So it works out in the end. But the only thing, you have to buy a 5-pack. Amazon won't sell them just in ones. But it does work out cheaper. And you get them quick. The only thing is, we're sold out on Amazon right now.
But you can get them from us. Or
Yeah.
Trendy Tree, like Barney
Yeah.
said.
I'm sure Trendy Tree will sell out really fast right now because, you know, if you still have to order your mesh to make your flowers, just order everything all at once. 2 more! Look at this thing, eh? It's ginormous, La.
Board is 15.5 inches.
15.5 inches the board is. Thanks, Kathy. I know, I have to apologize. I even said to Tanya this morning, it's like, she's asking me questions, and I honestly couldn't even answer her because my brain was just so tired. I just hope I have some sleep tonight, that's all.
Board 12.5 inches.
Yeah. Small board's 12.5 inches.
The yellow zip ties were white ones. I painted them today with paintbrush.
I did not. I happened to get some yellow. I have the yellow zip ties are on our website. I had a pack here, and I figured, you know what, I'll just use them because I have them. But the clear ones are just fine as well.
No, I'm not out in the shed 10 times.
Look how beautiful this is.
It's got my lake in the shed 10 times.
Last petal. See, the poly burlap does makes a really gorgeous sunflower. But again, even though I've bag sealed it, there is a few frays. Okay, so now I'm going to go around and just make sure my petals are to where I want them. And I think I'm going to, what do you guys think? Look at that. Lolly, look. Oh, need a ladybug.
Do you coordinate your, no, you don't, with the zip ties, it's just...
No, I just happen to have yellow zip ties. I bought some and I put them on the website. And I had a pack here and it's like, well, I bought them for the sunflowers, so. But you don't see the zip ties. I know, isn't it great? Like, look at that. That is friggin' awesome.
What is an egg bag too?
A what?
Yeah, I think somebody got spelled check.
Okay, let me move all this out of the way. Clean up before I start gluing this on. So again, you can do different layers. You can add more than one petal per zip tie if you want, especially if you're using just plain deco mesh. If you use a couple pieces per zip tie, you can make it a lot fuller. All right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to push these zip ties heads just to the side. And I'm going to put hot glue on each end of this nub here. I know, my words.
Where does the center come from?
I made it.
Where's the center of the phone?
Yeah, this is just a half ball. So it's 6-inch half ball. And I bought a bag of pom-poms. Where's my bag of pom-pom?
Those pom-poms looks especially like puffles.
Puffles. They're puffles. Okay, so there's my puffle one. Let's see what the pre-made one was. No, it's actually pom-poms. They're 1-inch pom-poms that I just glued. So I painted the half center brown, and then I just went around the bottom. I started at the bottom, put glue, and just put the pom-poms on all the way around, and then just kept going in different things. So and that's what it came like. It looks like a real sunflower center. So there's that one, and then you can do, this is the one that's pre-made. You can do that one.
Can you use 20 pounds of ties? That'd be too big.
No, 20 pound, they're too big. I didn't even know they had 20 pounds of ties. So if you want to, that's a nice center too. I think I really like this one. It really gives it nice dimension. And then once I glue it on, I'll then pull up some of my sunflower petals. You going tonight? No, the pom-poms are not okay, Laura, for outside. I said that at the beginning. It will be fine if you have like a covered porch or 2 doors, like a storm door and everything. But to put it right out in the weather, no. They'll get moldy. And so if you're going to do it outside, I would use the Olifun or the Deco tubing. I don't even think these would be weatherproof either. Well, they might. I think the foam would soak up the water. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bunch of glue on each of these nub things. Now, if you wanted to make sure it's going to doubly stay secure, I would do hot glue, and then I would do E6000. So if you put both glues on, the hot glue will secure it instantly, and the E6000 will make it never come off. And that's it.
You're more fun to watch than Netflix.
What?
Let me see if you're more fun to watch than Netflix.
Oh, thank you. I have a ladybug somewhere. I wish I knew where I put it. I'll find, I have a really cute ladybug I bought at Hobby Lobby for my sunflower. I'll have to find, when I take my pictures, I'll make sure I put it on. And there we go, we're done. So,
We're gonna move out.
yeah, hold on. I'm going to trim some of this fray here. I'm going to hang it up here, honey.
Oh, I can't, yeah, but that thing doesn't, I have to come out and move it down.
Hold on. All right, so we are, this is the back. So we have nothing to cover up, and there's nothing sharp. And this is your front. Ah! I guess I didn't leave the glue dry. Yeah.
Welcome to Lori's Live.
Well, and you know why? Because it's the Surebond. I use the Surebond one, and I didn't use the Gorilla Glue. Duh. All right. Takes a little longer to dry.
That's funny.
Yep. Leave it to me. That's what I get for switching up glue sticks right in the middle of everything. All right. I'm going to hang it up here. Should be okay to hang now. Holy hugeness.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to move the camera so I can see it better.
So we're hanging it on my mirror. I have my mirror covered with a blanket so it doesn't reflect, but so now I'm just kind of lifting up the petals a bit so it's not so flat. It gives it some dimension. Love it. Isn't it awesome? So as you can see, it's one of the simpler flowers. It's really, really easy to teach. And it's easy. And like I said, there's so many different petals you can use. This is the basic petal. You don't have to use yellow. You can use any color you want. You can, like I said, you can use Olifun. You can use Deco Mesh. You can have fun with your center and play with different centers. I love this center. That's awesome. Can you zoom in, honey, or no?
I am zoomed in.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see it now. It's the delay. Well, I'm glad you guys all love it. It is pretty easy. Thanks, Mom. Yeah, the center's pretty cool. And you know, a bag of pom-poms. They're 1-inch pom-poms. And at Hobby Lobby, they had so many colors of pom-poms. So there's a lot of variety. You can make centers with pearls. You can do the Olifun center, so that's a nice center to do. It's just ruffles. So there's lots of stuff. You just have to play around. The deco tubing, like I said, I have to redo mine, but I really like this. Is really, really cool. Okay, guys, that's it. That's all I got for you tonight.